My name is Jonathan Townsend, and I work for the City of Tulsa in the Mayor's office. My role at City Hall is Assistant to the Mayor for Community Development and Policy. And I'm a lifelong Tulsan, born in North Tulsa, raised in this community, where we are today. And I really wanted to take the opportunity to share the Greenwood legacy and experience with my good friend, Captain Mark Wollmershauser with the Tulsa Police Department. For me, it was very natural to be here, given I grew up in this community. I have a lot of family and friends who reside here, but I wanted to share this with Mark, given that he grew up in a different side of town, because we hear a lot about the legacy of Black Wall Street, but until you really get a chance to walk it and to go inside of the Greenwood Culture Center, oftentimes we underestimate just how significant and how relevant this place really was. It was incredible, just a wonderful place of entrepreneurship during the 19-teens and the early 20s. And it's something about coming here and being able to feel the character that still exists here in this place, which is really educational for anybody else who's never had a chance to experience that before. I thought it was incredible to talk about what took place during the economic boom of the early 19-teens as well. But we had to face the reality that what was a fantastic engine of economic development suddenly came to a crash on May 31st and June 1st, given the largest race riot that's ever taken place in American history. And talking to Mark about that, we had a chance to learn from each other different perspectives, because I wasn't even taught about this in school growing up, being right here in North Tulsa. So I can certainly understand why people throughout different communities or around the country haven't been as exposed to it before. And I really wanted to make sure we had a chance to share that experience with Mark during our leadership session, community session.
So Jonathan brought me down here, and we kind of walked up and down Greenwood, and I'm also a lifelong Tulsan and have worked this area several years in patrol, both as a sergeant and as an officer, and driven up and down these streets. I've actually stopped at the Greenwood Cultural Center and seen the other side of this monument, been inside before. But in walking over here with Jonathan, what caught my eye was the list on the slab behind us. And we now see, based off of geographical development and whatnot, what I perceive to be about a block-long district. I couldn't believe that I didn't take into context what probably existed geographically almost 100 years ago. And so it was coming here and seeing the other side of the slab that I really was able to understand the size and vibrancy of the Greenwood community and of Black Wall Street. The names of the doctor offices, the hotels, the restaurants. It was truly powerful to see the size of what the Greenwood district was, what it's become, and now even knowing more so the devastation of what the 1921 race riot did to a community. And so it was a very powerful, and I'm very thankful for Jonathan bringing me down here and seeing a whole new perspective on something that I'd driven by so many times, but truly didn't grasp how the size of it.
As I said a little earlier, it can be still hard to completely comprehend the legacy that this place really had. Even here walking the district today, you have still no idea on just how significant it really was. You really have to take time to read the likes of Hannibal Johnson or Eddie Faye Gates to really be able to see just how many stores we had. We're talking in this district, 32 grocery stores, 21 restaurants, places for folks to have recreational fun and get educations for their children as well. All that was so prevalent. It was so normal and natural here. And we can see how the years and decades have gone by, and the mood has still been quite dejected, given we've never been able to quite overcome the destruction that took place during that time. But what I really like now is the fact that Tulsa seems to be a community that has endured a lot, but we're seeing an elevated spirit taking place through programs like the ones that we've been able to participate in here. But it's becoming more contagious, and that's something that has me feeling very refreshed. A sense of positivity that's coming from all different types of folks who may not have been so aware of the history of Greenwood before, but would like to see something like that once again. It doesn't have to be a once upon a time thing, but it should be a goal that we all have to reestablish a sense of entrepreneurship and education right here in this community, so that North Tulsa isn't slighted or more blighted than any other particular part of our wonderful city.